Hey folks, this is Mike with Sailfish Solar. So I wanted to talk today about bifacial solar panels. It's a question we've been getting a lot lately, and candidly, bifacial panels do work in some situations. They don't necessarily work in most situations. This is a situation where they do work, so I figured I'd tell you about it today. Basically what a bifacial panel is it means that instead of having a white backing on the solar panels, right now there's no backing, right? So those are the actual solar cells, and they can collect photons from both the bottom and from the top. A standard solar panel is going to have a white backing up there, so the photons can't pass through. Instead, they're going to bounce back up, or hopefully a few more will be converted, with a standard solar panel. So a typical solar panel, 1 out of every 5, 2 out of every 10 photons is actually going to be converted into a negatively charged electron and into electricity. With a bifacial panel, now you're talking about 3 out of every 10 photons that are actually going to be converted into negatively charged electrons into electricity. And so what that means is essentially photons come in, as you know from one of our other videos, 2 out of 10 get converted into electricity. The way that they do that is by essentially knocking holes into the molecular structure of the silicon that's part of these cells, and then that creates a negatively charged electron. The majority of the photons that hit end up getting turned into heat, or they're actually reflected back off the solar panels. With these solar panels, what happens is, as opposed to reflecting the photons that aren't used or turning them into heat, they actually let them pass through, right? And so what they'll do is they'll actually bounce back up off of the ground, and they'll hit the back of that panel. So now, the photons are being collected on the top side, and on the bottom side, the ones that are actually being reflected and bouncing back up. So again, it'll increase efficiency for a solar panel somewhere between as little as 5%, as much as 20%, typically about a 10 to 15% gain that you'll see out of bifacial solar panels. For a pergola or a carport, such as the one that I'm standing over, it makes a ton of sense, because now we've got 15 feet for those photons to come down, bounce off of this white concrete that I'm standing on top of, and going and hitting the solar panel on top. So bifacial panels do make sense. They are more expensive, there's no doubt about it. These are the Solar for America 550 watt panels. We also love the new Aptos bifacial panel, also a 550 watt panel. So great panels that are out there for sure. They are a little bit more expensive, no doubt about it, but again, they're going to give you a greater bang for your buck. So just thought I'd show you this. In some situations, these bifacial panels make sense. In a lot of situations, they don't. It really depends on what's happening underneath the panels as to whether or not we're going to recommend a bifacial panel. All right, that's it for now. Thanks for stopping by.